Stranger Things Season 4 is coming, and it's looking big, as in crazy new characters and Russia type of big. Lots of our favorite faces will return in the brand new season, but the Stranger Things cast has expanded with some exciting new additions. Here are all the new characters coming to Stranger Things that I'm sure you will get to know quite well in Season 4. But before we find out who these people are, make sure that you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and ding that notification bell so you never miss another update from us. First up is Eddie Munson, the metalhead D&D nerd. What's more Stranger Things than a rebellious 80s nerd who's either loved or hated by all those who meet him? Well, that's Eddie Munson. Played by actor Joseph Quinn, Eddie is the head of the Hawkins High School official Dungeons & Dragons club, the Hellfire Club. So far, we know that Eddie will be at the quote-unquote terrifying epicenter of Season 4's mystery, and being described as audacious, we can only wonder what this will mean. We already know who Dustin is, but who else will be in the Hellfire Club? What will the mystery be? Stranger Things is known for having some out-there characters, but imagine how this metal guitar shredding dungeon master might be about to shake things up if his personality is as fiery as described. Having an incensed character like Eddie at the heart of Season 4's story, who knows if he will be a good guy or cause some classic Stranger Things chaos. Speaking of chaos, how about a Russian smuggler? Yep, that's Yuri. If you watch the latest trailers for Stranger Things Season 4, you may have seen Hopper and his quote-unquote predicament. Yes, Hopper is back, but he's stuck in Russia as a prisoner. This might just be where Yuri comes in. Played by actor Nikola Jerichko, Yuri apparently enjoys quote, bad jokes, cold hard cash, and crunchy style peanut butter, and hopefully also breaking mustached policemen out of a Russian prison. Described as quote-unquote seedy and unpredictable, there's a lot riding on whether Yuri is going to be helpful or not. Based upon his love for cold hard cash, Yuri could be the type of guy to do, well, anything if the pay is right. Being in the business of smuggling, we can only dream of what else Yuri might get up to. This elusive and potentially dangerous character is no doubt going to have a big impact on the story of Stranger Things, and we can only hope that's for the better. Only time will tell how this struggler will play a part in whatever unfolds in Season 4. Next, we've got Dmitri, the Russian prison guard. What makes breaking someone out of prison significantly harder, you ask? Well, when the prison is halfway across the globe in Russia, that's quite hard. But the answer is more likely guards, and prison guards by that. Their job is to make sure that you don't escape, no matter where in the world you might be. Dmitri, who is played by Tom Vlasius, is quote, smart and charming, so this isn't a regular prison guard. We can imagine poor Hopper freezing and trapped in Russia under the watchful eye of Dmitri, and just when he thought the situation couldn't get worse. But we don't know much about Dmitri yet, other than his intelligence and charm. He might be more willing to work with Hopper and even Yuri to stage a prison break. Who knows how Dmitri might tie into the story, and if he could end up back in Hawkins with the rest of the crew. If we can say one thing for sure about Season 4, is that it's going to be unpredictable and even darker than we've ever seen in the past. Now, while all of that was quite intense, the next character, Argyle, is totally chill. Pizza delivery and stoners are an age-old match made in heaven. Meet Argyle. He's exactly that, a weed-smoking, pizza-loving guy who we are looking forward to being introduced to in Stranger Things. Oh, and not to mention, he's Jonathan's new BFF. Yep, Jonathan is a friend now, and we can't help but feel happy for him. Argyle is played by Eduardo Franco and has a quote, deep, chill, philosophical vibe, according to the directors. Even Finn Wolfhard, who plays the iconic Mike Wheeler in the show, has said that Argyle is brilliant. It's looking like Argyle is going to be able to provide some much-needed relief for a nail-biting upcoming season. And really, who doesn't love a stoner character from the 80s? But it's more than likely that Argyle will find himself wrapped up in this season's drama too. We know how good Jonathan is at that, and it sounds like Argyle might be tagging along for the ride. Next up is Victor Creel, who's not chill. Actually, he's not chill at all. Not even a little bit. This is Stranger Things after all. Meet Victor Creel, a patient locked up at the Penhurst Mental Hospital for committing a gruesome murder. Apparently, Victor is a quote, disturbed and intimidating man, which is only right for somebody played by the famous Robert Englund. If you don't know who he is, think A Nightmare on Elm Street. Remember Freddy Krueger? Yep, that's who's going to be playing Victor Creel in Season 4. We've already got the Upside Down and all of its monsters to deal with, but now there's also an unhinged convicted murderer looming in the background, played by one of the most iconic horror actors of all time. Sure, that sounds fine, completely fine, and we're not scared at all. It seems like Stranger Things is taking out all the stops this time around, and we'll be getting one of the most spookiest seasons yet. Up next, we have Peter Ballard. There's got to be somebody at the Penhurst Mental Hospital making sure people like Victor are kept well in check. And that's where Peter Ballard comes in, played by actor Jamie Campbell Bower. He is an orderly at the hospital, which does mean that he takes care of routines and provides help for the inmates. We can't imagine such a job being easy, and you would need to keep high spirits to be able to deal with what you see on a daily basis. That is why Peter is described as a quote-unquote caring man, but he witnesses brutality day after day on the job. Peter sounds like a really good guy with good intentions, but we kind of wonder what this will mean whenever he meets people like Victor Creel. What other members of the crew will he meet, and how will he tie into the story of season 4? There's a lot of mystery around Peter Ballard, but that might just lead to some of the biggest surprises we've seen so far in the show. Next up is Jason Carver, the new kid on the block, and he might be ready to stir things up. If you've ever watched Richie Rich, you might think the rich kid is always the outcast. Well, the director of Stranger Things says otherwise. Played by actor Mason Dye, Jason Carver is a rich athlete, and he's got the girl too. Apparently his quote-unquote perfect world begins to unravel as the new threat to Hawkins becomes a reality in season 4. Oh, and he does have some beef. Remember Eddie Munson, the head of the school D&D team? Well, it seems like those two have got a bone to pick with one another. It might have something to do with the fact of Eddie being a love him or hate him type of guy, or just the fact that the super rich athlete is often not the friendliest type character either. Maybe Jason got the girl of Eddie's dreams, or maybe he's a bully picking on the Dungeons and Dragons crew. Either way, these two are said to have a few differences, which will be interesting to see play out in season 4. Will they pull them aside as the mystery deepens, or will they stay at odds and cause even more chaos? We'll just have to wait and see. Finally, we have Lieutenant Colonel Sullivan, who thinks he might be able to solve the mystery in Hawkins. Let me be brief and take you back to season 1, back to when Will got taken to the Upside Down, and nobody believed Joyce when she knew before everybody else that something was going on at Hawkins. Now, imagine if back then there was a lieutenant colonel around who claimed to have a solution. Things might have gone differently. Played by Sherman Augustus, Lieutenant Colonel Sullivan believes just that. He's got a solution for the evil that has been plaguing Hawkins ever since the start of Stranger Things. Judging from the name alone, we can assume Sullivan will play quite a larger role in season 4, being a lieutenant and all. He and Hopper might have history through the police force, which could make some interesting scenarios in Hopper's attempted return from Russia. Even further, Sullivan might be involved in the military. With that kind of support, he might finally put an end to the Upside Down if he truly understands what he's dealing with, that is. Between Hawkins, Russia, and the Upside Down, a lot is going to be happening in Stranger Things. We're more than happy that there's a massive new cast of existing characters to be able to join those that we already know and love in season 4. This has been a list of the new faces that you can expect to see, and there's no doubt that with such an out-of-there cast, season 4 is sure to be like none other when it's released. What are you most excited about when it comes to season 4 of Stranger Things? There are so many new plot twists and moments that could change everything. Also, make sure you stick around and check out some of the other videos on the channel, and until next time guys, thanks for watching.